Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck, and I'm going to do my August 2025 book haul. So I did buy quite a bit of books. A lot of these were pre-orders that I didn't realize were all in like August. And then some of them I went and bought. I bought a lot of series books that I need to get to because I keep buying books in series and I haven't really gotten into those series. So I need to do that. And then again, I picked up some books along the way here and there. So it kind of added up to 23 books, but you know, these things happen. Anyway, so I'm just going to go through them. We'll start with a book I got because I'm on Katie Roberts' Patreon. So she sends out, I'm on the level where you get books. And so we got Learn My Lesson, which is the second book in the Wicked Villains series. These are the traditionally published, the new versions. So I've already read these, and but she's sending out new copies with that tier that I'm on. She does have it's printed, signed, and then I also got a signature plate. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with that one yet, but anyway, I've already read that, so we don't have to worry about that. But again, those are spicy, they're not quite mafia. It's still kind of underworldish, but they have they're based off of like Disney villains and getting their happy story kind of thing. But you know, they're very, very spicy, but they're just a fun ride. I really like that series. So anyway, so that's book 2. And then I got 2 books by Emily Rath. The first one is Beautiful Things, which is the first book in the Second Sons series. So this is Regency romance, Wide Shoes. So I like these new editions. This was independently published before, and now it's being traditionally published. It does have some artwork. But anyway, I'm hoping to get to this fairly soon. I do enjoy Emily Rath, but I haven't read her historical before, so I'm going to try that one out. Her other book that came out was her Jacksonville Rays hockey romance series. So this is Pucking Strong, which is book 4 in the series. So I'm 1 book behind. So I do want to get to this, but I need to read the book before it. So hopefully I'll get to that fairly soon. Again, these are spicy romances. This is a male romance. So I'm really looking forward to this one to see how this goes. But anyway, I'm another series that I'm partway through and not caught up. So we'll see what happens. I did pre-order Kiss the Villain by Rena Kent. Again, this is one of the authors that I have bought a lot of her books in the last few months, and I haven't finished a book yet with her. I mean, I just took a sample of 1 book, and then I decided to buy books. Anyway, but I like the premise of 3 of her series. So I have the first books in 3 of the series, and then I have all the Legacy of God series. So I'm going to be reading God of Malice really soon. But Kiss the Villain is more dark academia, I think, because it has to do with, it's a male romance of a guy who goes to he's like Golden Boy, and he goes to some kind of, I don't remember if it was an academy or something, but his new professor is somehow the villain, and something had happened between them before, and then, you know, anyway, I bought it. I'm definitely on my, look at the little kitty on his hip. Anyway, I'm definitely in my dark romance era kind of thing of trying stuff. And again, she is one of the authors I've bought way too many books of, and I've not read one yet, so I need to stop. But I do want to read this fairly soon, or you know, in the fall hopefully. But I will read God of Malice first, so I might get caught up in that series before I come back to, I don't know, we'll see what happens, because another book in that series is coming out I think early next year. So anyway, so I get ahead of myself, but I do want to read that one fairly soon. I did get Darcy Coates' new standalone horror book. This is How Bad Things Can Get, and then this has to do with going to an island with an online influencer and hundreds of his loyal followers. It's supposed to be 5 days of all this fun and activities and things, and then things go wrong, and that's about all I know. Darcy Coates, and I love her haunted house books, And I've had a lot of trouble with her standalones, which this is one of them. So we'll see how this goes. But I did take a chance on it because I still really like the Gravekeeper series. I like all the haunted house ones that she's done that I've read, most of them. I just have trouble with the standalones, but we're going to try one more time at least, and try that because I do like her writing. So we'll see how that one goes. I did get To Kill a Badger by Shelley Lawrenson. This is book 6 in the Honey Badger Chronicles. It's a paranormal romance series that is just over the top hilarious. These are honey badgers who are, you know, they just kick ass, and they're they're very brutal in a lot of ways. This is very much just over the top paranormal romance, but I just adore Shelley Lawrenson and her writing, and I'm really excited to get to this book. This book was delayed from last year, so I had it pre-ordered from last year, and it finally came out, and I'm so excited. So I will get to this very, very soon because I'm already rereading the books right before it, so because it's been a couple of years, so I'm like rereading those right now, so I will get to that soon. I did also get Alchemy and a Cup of Tea by Rebecca Thorne. This is book 4 and final book in the Tomes and Tea series, which we're following 2 characters from I Can't Spell Treason Without Tea, and they is a fantasy. I would say it's on the cozy side, but there's a lot of stakes in here, so it's kind of like more closer to, I would just say, fantasy with some cozy elements. But Raina and Ganth in the first book have decided to take a chance on each other and kind of start over, leaving not all the responsibilities, but some of the responsibilities behind, and going to a town up north and starting a book and tea shop. But then there's a lot of things that happen with that and how that comes to be. And I really enjoyed Can't Spell Treason Without Tea. I have reread it so that I can continue in the series. So I was hoping to be closer to this book by this point, but I'm going to read A Pirate's Life for Tea very, very soon, so that maybe by the end of the year I will finish this. But again, this is book 4 and I'm only on book 2, so I'm going to work on that. But I am really excited to get to that. And again, this one has, I don't think it has any, oh, it does have it. Oh, it has a picture too. Sorry. Anyway, it has dragons. Anyway, and other things. Anyway, and then I also got pre-ordered the Ether Witch, The Casting Call by Delamock. This is book number 1. I'm thinking it's going to be another trilogy, but I'm not positive. But this is following the House Witch and the Burning Witch. And this is, so in the series, this is book 8. If you read them in order, because you should read them in order because they build on each other, even though we switch characters in each kind of section. Anyway, but the Ether Witch is following Tamlin, and he is the Burning Witch's brother. So we get his story, which I'm really excited for because he's been kind of a mystery up to this point. So I'm excited. I have not read this yet because but I do own the audiobook and ebook as well. The ebook was the worst formatted thing I've ever seen in my whole life. I paid for it, but I should have just returned it because it was such a mess and I couldn't read it. So I was waiting for the physical book to come out. So anyway, now I got it. I am slowly rereading the series, so I have 4 more books before I get to this one, but it's going to be a while before the next book comes out, so hopefully by next year sometime I will read that. But I'm excited to continue that story. And then a book that I did read is Accomplice to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mayer. This is book 3 in the Assistant to the Villain series. I really enjoy the series. This is fun fantasy, kind of laugh out loud, kind of where young woman Evie takes a job because she's pretty desperate. She takes a job and becomes the assistant to the villain. And there's a lot going on in the kingdom of how the villain is portrayed and things that people think he did. And the king, has not ransom. What he has money out to, what do you call that? I can't think of what that's called. You know what I mean? Anyway, and again, we get to know all the people, so it's kind of found family as well. I really enjoy this by book 3. Things have escalated. I'm guessing, I know that she's already writing book 4. I think book 4 will be the final book. I don't know. That's kind of what it sounded like when I saw one of her things online, but I'm not positive. But book 3 was really fun. I think it really continues on from what's happening in the other books. And I'm looking forward to book 4 when that ever comes out. But I have read this one and I really enjoyed it. Okay, so then again, some books I bought, a couple books in series that I wanted to continue. Let's see here. I'm just trying to move stuff around. Anyway, so okay, so some of these books are books to continue and others is a whole series. So I'll get to this. So Sierra Simone, I finally read A Lesson in Thorns, which is the first book in the Thorn Chapel series. So I had already bought A Feast of Sparks, so that's the next book I will read. But I went ahead and bought book 3, Harvest of Sighs, and Door of Bruises, book 4, to finish out the 4-book series. So this is following some young 20-year-olds who knew each other as kids, and their parents were involved with something weird at Thorn Chapel, and now they've all come back 12 years later, and they're adults, and they're all kind of going through their own sexual awakenings with each other. But there's something kind of mysterious about Thorn Chapel and what happened there before and what's going on. Again, book 1 was it was fun. I really enjoyed it and I wanted to continue. And so I just bought all the copies so I can continue that series. So I hope to continue on. And then when I was online, I noticed I found her new Camelot series. It came in a pack and it was like super cheap. Like I paid for all 3 of these. I would have paid for 1 book. So I just bought all 3 of them, which is American Queen, American Prince, and American King. And this is dealing with people who are in the White House, and it's there's 3 of them. Anyway, there's, 1 female, 2 males kind of thing. So, but power involved, and I don't know, but I bought it anyway because I really enjoyed A Lesson in Thorns by Sierra Simone. So I took a chance and bought more of her books. So I bought the whole series so I could read that one. I did another series that I started it in August, and so I read the first book, and then I went out and bought the second book, and then I bought the next 2 books right away, which is The Unwanted Marriage by Katharina Mora and The Broken Vows by her. And these are books 3 and 4 of the Windsor series. So I read the first 2 and really, really enjoyed them. They are marriages of arranged marriages with people who have way too much money. Anyway, and all the siblings run different parts of the big company, and that's in all different aspects of like technology and media, and then I think someone does interior design or something, or just something, I don't remember. They're like all different, like do different kinds of stuff. And so these are the next ones that I have out. And then I think the 5th one comes out later this year. And then I don't know when the 6th one is coming out. But I've really enjoyed these. They're just fun. I just have a fun time with them. They're not perfect in any way, but I had a great time with the first 2 arranged marriage books. So, and again, they have different tropes within those, but the main thing is it's a kind of an arranged marriage series because their grandmother says, their family that, they've been so strong because they have all had arranged marriages. And the way the grandmother goes about picking who they're supposed to marry is hilarious. Anyway, or not hilarious, but she's sneaky. Anyway, and then I got a couple books. Another one to continue a series is Return to the Dallergut Dream Department Store by Mi Yi Ling Lee. I keep wanting to say Ling. I don't know. Lee. And that's translated, I believe, from the Korean. This is Korean. Yes, Korean. By Sandy Joseon Lee. So I read the first one earlier this year, and it was just a fun little, magical realism thing about this store that helps people or sell their dreams. or get dreams and stuff. I can't remember how it goes. Anyway, but this was the second book in that series, so I wanted to get it when it came out. I did buy both of these through Blackwell's, so I got those versions because I think the US, they're only in hardback, or they were. Anyway, so I bought the second one. I thought I was going to get to it in August, and I just did not. I never got into the mood for this, but I hope to pick it up by the end of the year so that I've finished the series, but because I think it's only a duology, but I will double check on that. But I know for sure that's the only other one out. So I did pick up The Curse That Binds by Laura Thalassa. This isn't a series I haven't started yet. I did read her Bargainer series and really enjoyed it overall. And so I had the first 2 books in the Bewitched series. And that is more of a paranormal romance, I think, where someone is flying over somewhere and then she awakens somebody who recognizes her soul or something. I don't remember how it goes. It has witches, I think, in this one. I'm not positive. I had the first 2 books, but the prequel came out and I got it. I just bought it. It's really pretty. My other copies here, they're the first copies that came out. So they're different, but I hope to get to those soon. They're all chunky. And I would say that they're, paranormal romances. So we'll see. Anyway, but I really liked the Bargainer series, so I took a chance on that series. So we'll try to get to those. Another book I took kind of a chance on, even though I really like this author. This is Catherine Cow's All the Missing Pieces. So this one I got because I'm caught up on the Sparrow Falls series, and I'm waiting for the last book in that series. I'm really excited for that. That just come out in a couple months. And but this one, she came out, I think this summer or this spring. And this is one of her standalones. And the only reason I hesitated about buying this earlier is because it has the reporter, and has like a podcast doing true crime stuff. And so this is romantic suspense. So it's her going to this, I think this town, and her and the sheriff. Yeah, the sheriff have, butt heads over whatever she's doing. So I'm going to take a chance on it because I like Catherine Cow's and I like her romantic suspense stories. Because really, I don't like reading about reporters. There's just something about that. I'm not going to say it's totally a moral thing, but it has something to do with the way they question the world that doesn't always resonate well with me in written books. And I just... yeah, so we're gonna try it though, because I really like her as an author, and I really want to go more into her backlist. So, but I thought I should pick up the new release because I have heard good things about it. So I picked that up. I also picked up a sports college romance, Collide by Belle Cabra, and I've heard really good things about this series. So this again is a hockey and a student. I think she is trying to go into sports psychology, and so somehow she has to work with the captain of the hockey team because something happened, and so he's kind of being punished, I think. So I don't know what's gonna happen, but I've heard really good things about this series. I really Spiral, the second book, I really would like to read, but I think I better start with the first one. So I got that one. I have like a lot of college sports romances that I need to read, so now I got another one. I got The Inheritance by Ilona Andrews. This is the first book, Ilona Andrews. So this is their new independent published release, which is the first book in the Breach Wars. So I'm really excited for this. It sounds kind of sci-fi fantasy. And I know that they have to, she's gone through, the Dimension Gates hundreds of times, but there's something that happens this time. And then she goes with a dog, a German Shepherd named Bear. That was good enough for me. I mean, they've been doing a serial like on their newsletter. So if you want to read it as you go, I just don't read them. I usually just kind of glance at them and read the stuff about them, but I don't actually read the story because I want to see it after it's been edited and then published. So this has been published. So I'm going to read this fairly soon, I think. But anyways, the first book in a new series, and because they're writing another big epic fantasy series, or they are writing an epic fantasy series, I don't know when the next time they'll get back to the write on this one, but anyway, I got the first book and I will probably read that at some point. I did get A Sorcerer Comes to Call by T. Kingfisher. It was on sale one day, really cheap. So this is last year's fantasy release, kind of retelling, I think, of The Goose Girl, which is a fairy tale I don't know anything about, which I probably should read just because so many talk about that as their premise, you know, their basis. So it's really a pretty book. Anyway, so this is one of the ones I haven't read yet. I hope I get to it at some point, but it was cheap and I got it. And then the last one is probably the one I'm kind of disappointed in myself for picking up the most, because again, it's another one where I've bought a couple books by this author. This is the second book by this author in a series that I haven't started yet. And I'm not even sure the first book I'm going to get through because of some of the tropes in there that I didn't know were also in that book. But this is Wildest Dreams by L.J. Shen. This is the second book in the Forbidden Love series. So this one has to do with, you know, forbidden. So this has to do with a playboy, and I can't remember. And then Dylan, I think, is the sister to the main male character in the first book, Truly, Madly, Deeply, which I haven't started yet. I have it. And then the next book in this series, Hampton Devil, just came out. So I don't know. I got this really cheap. Okay, that's the only thing I'm going to say I got was a good reason why I bought it. But I don't know. So again, these are dark. I don't know if they're dark romances, but they're definitely have a lot of things going on in them. I haven't read them. I mean, again, it's called Forbidden Love. So I'm sure they're not supposed to, you know, like each other for some reason. I don't know. Anyway, so this one, not my best buy, but if you've read it, let me know if you've liked that series. But I still have Truly, Madly, Deeply to read, and then that one comes next. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, so those are all the books that I got. As I said, I bought a lot of books in series. I bought a lot of books from, most of the books were from authors I've read from before. Maybe I bought too many books from those authors. And then I had a lot of pre-orders. So anyway, that's kind of it. So if you guys have read any of these or haven't and have enjoyed them, let me know so I know to move them up on my TBR if there's certain series I need to work on, because I'm behind on so many series. And did you guys get anything good in August? Any pre-orders that you were really looking forward to that you got? Let me know, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.